Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a few things I've picked up for my garden and a few things I've picked up for my kitchen because I'm a canner and I felt I needed them. If you'd like to see what those items are, stay tuned. First things first, let's start with what's right here that you guys can see. I went to the restaurant supply store. If you all have a restaurant supply store in your area and you're a canner, I highly recommend you go and give them a look-see. I've seen so many people who are canning, who are seasoned canners and who are brand new canners, and they are struggling in their kitchen because they don't have containers large enough to hold the things they're canning. But a restaurant supply store has all of that and more. So I picked up a couple of items because I really needed them and I needed to just stop putting it off. So I picked up a colander, a really big colander. I have been canning for the past week and I didn't have a metal colander. All I had was plastic. And so sometimes when your food is hot and you're thinking about it, you don't want to put a bunch of hot food in a plastic colander. And if you have a lot of stuff you've taken out of the garden, a big, large metal colander is what you need. I also picked up, and I've already had one of these, but I felt like I needed a second one. This is a really big bowl. And when I'm out collecting my green leaves or whatever else I'm harvesting, these bowls really come in handy. Not only for when I'm collecting, when I'm washing, when I'm making sauerkraut, I use this bowl to make my sauerkraut. When I'm collecting my greens, all that, I put them in here, I wash them, and I needed another one for when I'm washing and transferring. So these bowls are a godsend. So I got another big bowl. And I've been putting off going to the restaurant supply store, but when I went there a couple of days ago, I want to say it was Friday, I walked in, I got what I needed, I went to the cash register, and the young lady said, today and only today, we're going to give away a whole box of gloves. So I have a whole huge box full of gloves. I don't even know how many are in there. Because I didn't open it up. It's just sitting at the back door. But I'm happy to have them. I think they're just the regular plain old plastic gloves. We can always use plastic gloves. Now, I also have something. I'll show you that because I think we're going to take a little field trip. We're going to go into the garage. But for also canning, I've been using just a regular pop top can opener. The one you use for like making holes in cans to pour stuff out of, and to pop the other end has a little rounded end that you can pop like bottle tops off of. I've been using those to open up my mason jars. Those things ruin mason jars like nobody's business. So because I reuse the lids of my mason jars when I'm doing drying goods, that was not good for me. Those are lids I've had to throw away. So I found this jar opener online, and I tell you, it is amazing. I just used this last night. It opens up beverage jars, it opens up mason jars, it opens up bottles like ketchup, chili sauces. With this end, it says something about a pour tumbler with the hook. I don't know what that really means, but I use it to open up my mason jars, and it has several different uses on the back, and this thing is amazing. So I'm glad I picked this up. Now, let's move on to the big box store. I went to the Blue store probably about 2 weeks or so ago. They just put out their bulbs, their spring bulbs. I bought several spring bulbs. Some of them I'm happy with, some of them I am not. And I'm going to show you what I mean. But first, I'm going to show you what I'm happy with. So here's the bag of stuff, the goodies. Let's see. Oh, these didn't come from the big box store, but I'm going to show you that too. Let me take that out. That's from a different store. Okay, so if you want to plant your spring bulbs, or you're interested in planting spring bulbs, now is the time to get spring bulbs. I'm getting all caught up. This is why I haven't been wearing my microphone. This cord is catching me up. I picked up for my white area. I have a white garden. I love a white garden. I think it's absolutely gorgeous at night. And so I'm trying to recreate a white garden like I had when I lived up in North Texas. I bought some Ice Follies daffodils. Now, of course, the neck is yellow, but it's a white flower. And I lost all of my crocuses. And crocus reminds me of Europe. You see these all over the place in early spring. When the snow is just now beginning to melt, you will find crocus. And so I bought a small bag of crocus. And from what I hear, the orange store in certain areas, because it's not in this one, I've actually gone twice and they do not have their bulbs out yet, but they're supposed to be putting their bulbs out too. And they have a different color crocus that are more of a fall-like color, like the oranges and the dark brownish kind of colors. So I'm really looking to see if I can score some of those, because I would love to get those too. I also picked up some alliums. I have the drumstick alliums and they're absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I've ever had this particular variety. This is called the Purple Sensation. So alliums it is. Alliums in the garden. And those were the bulbs that I was happy with. I also picked up 2 other bulbs that the flowers are absolutely gorgeous. I happen to be watching another YouTuber. I'm not going to say her channel name, but I happen to be watching another YouTuber. I watch a lot of different YouTubers, and she is a professional gardener. And she had the most beautiful bearded irises. I'd never seen that color before. And so I was at the blue store and they had, I think, 4 different varieties of bearded iris. But these 2 were really striking. Now this one is called the Dangerous Mood. Can you all see how beautiful that is? Absolutely beautiful, right? Gorgeous. The bulb was half dead. I've had to cut the dead pieces off of it. It's finally starting to grow a little bit of roots, but as you can see, it had a lot of death on it. And this one is beginning to grow. Very disappointed in the big box store. I bought another one, and I only bought one because the entire box, not just that plant, the entire box, I sat there and looked through each and every one of those little packets, and they were dried up, they were dead. And I thought to myself, I'm going to try. I'm going to buy these 2, only 2. I'm going to try to get them to rehydrate and grow for me. Very disappointed in the big box store. So this bearded iris, look at how beautiful that red color is. I mean, I don't like the name, but I like the color. It's called Redneck Girl, and that is gorgeous. So I am on the hunt. I'm going to go to a 3rd blue big box store, because the second big box store I went to, their entire shipment of the bearded irises, and they also had 4, the same 4 varieties, were all dried up and dead. Now this particular bearded iris is not faring as well. It still has that same little bit of green on it. I did cut a lot of the dried pieces up, but this is in this was what was on it. It was just rotting. There's one tiny little piece. I hope you can see it right there in the center. It's trying to grow. And there's one little nub right there on the end. I don't think y'all can probably see it, but there's a little nub right there that's trying to grow. And I cut off all the dead roots. There might be one little nub on the bottom that's growing, but I am in one little nub right here in the corner. But I am so disappointed in the shipment at that store. And it wasn't just that store. I went to 2 different stores on 2 different parts of town. And so I'm going to go to a 3rd big box store to see if they have a better shipment, because those bearded irises are gorgeous and I have to have them. I had to have them. I need them in my garden. I really do. So, because I have a bearded iris that I got from, I think, Walmart a couple of years ago. And it's the standard color, the purple, the yellow. I'm not a huge fan of that color, so I think it might have died. But that right there, that's got to live here. I also went to Wally. They have bulb planters for $1.50. Now, I do have an auger, but this right here will take a chunk of soil out, and the auger just moves things around. And I still have to use a trowel to kind of dig it out. So I want to see how this works. For $1.50, yeah, had to have that too. Okay, now this other gardening thing that I want to show you guys, amazing, absolutely amazing. I purchased some stuff many years ago thinking that I would be able to put some things together, you know, add this, add that, and hook it up and get it to work. I need a plug and play. I need a plug and play. If I have to buy some extra stuff to make this thing work, it's not going to work for me. Those 2 pumps have been sitting in a box for a couple of years, and now I got to go and try to sell them because they're not plug and plays. You need extra stuff to make them work. Silly me. But I found, after watching another YouTuber, she had this very same thing, and I thought, ooh, I need that in my life. Now, before you say it, I'm not that person that sees a whole bunch of stuff on other people's channel and runs out and get it. It has to benefit me in my house, my garden. It's got to benefit me. But this right here, amazing. I purchased, and I've already opened it and used it, and I'm going to put a clip right after this so you can see what I'm talking about. I mean, perfection. This is a transfer pump. Can you all see that? A transfer pump. Now, I don't know if I have the, I have the owner's manual. And it might not be in the owner's manual. It might be online where I saw it. This transfer pump does a
This pump can be used to pull water from your home, your garage. It can be used to pull water out of a pool, out of a pond. It can also be used to rinse off your car. This pump is amazing.
I was like, why did it take me so long to buy this? If I have to wait around for something in order to do the function that I need, if I have to add a bunch of stuff to what I need to utilize, that doesn't work for me. I can't wait around. I don't want to wait around, and I don't want to add 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 things to make this one thing work. This right here, plug and play. You put a little water in it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Like I said, I've already used it, and I'm going to put a video in of showing how this thing performs. Amazing. You put a little, you turn it to the side, and you put 2 tablespoons of water in this side right here. Turn it right side up. Plug your hose on this end. Plug the hose that goes into whatever water you need to suck up out of. Mine was the rain barrel. And then well, that's not it. And then you plug it in. And once you plug it in, there is no switch to turn it on or off. It's an immediate, it comes on. So you need to be ready when you plug it up. I plugged this thing up, and it watered my entire garden. I mean, all the pots were watered. That right there, game changer. Game changer. I don't want to drag around a bunch of buckets or watering cans. My garden is growing, and that's too much time and effort for me, and it's getting too hot to be dragging around watering cans and watering everything by hand. I can't do it early in the morning, and I don't want to do it late in the afternoon. This right here, game changer. It's called a transfer pump. And I will put a link to this in my description box, so take a look at it if you're interested, because it is an amazing tool.
This little pump is truly a powerhouse. I want to say I grabbed a 50-foot hose as well as this extended spray wand. And if you can see the flow of water coming out of the end of this spray wand is powerful. It is strong enough to where it is truly giving each and every pot a significant amount and adequate amount of water. Now, if you hear that humming noise in the background, that is the sound of the pump. That is the most annoying part of this pump. But this pump, as I mentioned, has many different uses. You can water your garden as you see me doing here. Just in case I didn't mention it, the water that you see flowing is from my rain barrel.
Now, I have not even opened this thing up. It's been sitting on my dining room table for weeks now. And this I've wanted this for a number of years. I have gotten into canning. I've been canning for about 2 years. But I tried canning for the first time, I want to say in about 2012 maybe. My very first canning project was canning jalapenos. And I absolutely fell in love with those jalapenos. And I didn't can again until 2 years ago. But last year, I was given a turkey for free for Thanksgiving. And I found a turkey. Well, let me just say this. I was gifted a turkey. It was a present, which is weird, but I was gifted a turkey. And I found a turkey on sale for like $7, $8. And then my mother found a turkey, roughly about the same price. And I want to be able to process meat in a way that works for me and my family. I don't want to just have to buy already chopped up meat, because that's not working out. And y'all know what I'm talking about. But I want to be able to buy whole pieces of meat, butcher them down, and process them how I want them to be. And so this right here is a, what do they call it? It's like a, see, I don't even know what it's called. It's a grinder. It's a meat grinder. Hello. It's a meat grinder. I was given a KitchenAid a long time ago. My aunt gave me a KitchenAid after being, I guess it was a wedding gift. I've been married for a little while, and she gifted me a KitchenAid. And so for roughly maybe 3 years, that KitchenAid sat in the box. I did not use it. I guess maybe I was intimidated. I wasn't baking. I wasn't utilizing it at all. And then finally, in 2011, I moved and had my second home, had a bigger, larger kitchen. That's when I started playing with canning. And I began to look at that KitchenAid and go, we're taking it out of the box. We're going to use it. And I began to bake. And so now I've been able to use that KitchenAid for more than just baking. I use it when I'm making pasta. I have attachments that I make pasta, so I make all my own homemade pasta. Now I am going to be grinding down meat, and I have not opened this up. So let me show y'all what this looks like. Move some stuff over, because like I said, this has been sitting on, and I know that was a long story. I'm very long-winded. This has been sitting for weeks, and I have not opened it up because I wanted to open it up with y'all, and I've just been busy. I do work outside the home. I do have a very large garden. I have more than one, so I'm busy. I have family obligations, and so it doesn't always fit in the time frame of when I need to do things. So this is all metal. This is the instruction, I hope you guys can see, of how to put it together. Looks like this is the plunger, actually this way, for pushing the meat through the machine to the grinder. And let's see, top of it, noisy. Let's see. Here we go. You've got a brush for cleaning. You have your tools to press your meat through, 2 different size cylinders. And I don't know what the proper name of this is, but this looks like the actual meat and potatoes of it. This is what fits inside of the top of your KitchenAid. And here is where your meats will come out of. And this is where you push your meat through with the pusher. And it will grind itself out. And I like this because it's metal. It's probably going to be a bear to clean, but you can unscrew that, and that's where all of the blades are. I can see a bunch of different things in there. I'm not going to take that apart right now. Let's see, there are, looks like, here we go. And there are more there are attachments. I like when stuff comes in little plastic boxes so you don't lose things. And you've got your attachments, and I want to make sure I don't mess around and cut my fingers, because that's a possibility. You've got attachments to how big you want your meat to come out of the machine. You've got several different metal plates, and I like that it's metal. Less likelihood of corrosion, even though it's possible still. But you have 3 different size plates. So that was a small, that looks like a medium, and it looks like a large. And that way you can process your meat the way you want your meat processed. My mom is always talking about how she wants a burger. Well, we don't eat red meat in my family. So it's either going to be a bean burger or a turkey burger. And I want to be able to process that meat in a way that I don't have to go out, excuse me, or she doesn't have to go out and purchase pre-made meat patties. And so that's what this is. This is the meat grinder. That's the attachment to my KitchenAid. And I am so excited for the possibility of utilizing this during the holiday time and making ground meats for myself. And I think you can also make sausage. My husband will be happy about that. Oh my goodness. Yes. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So I purchased a meat grinder. Now, see, I'm already forgetting stuff. I'm liable to leave these instructions laying around, and when I need to use it, then I won't be able to find these instructions. So let me put these instructions back in here. And now we're going to go into the garage. We're going to take a field trip And there are a couple things in the garage that I left out there that I want to share with you guys. One thing I got on sale, because that's how I like to live. And the other thing I paid full price for, but it's for my new greenhouse, and I'm okay with that. If I can keep my plants alive during the cold season, I'll pay full price for it. And I saw this on 2 different YouTubers' channels, not this particular one, but one very similar. And I thought I'm going to give that a try because their reviews were very good. The reviews I read on it was very good. So let's go on that road trip. Okay, right here at my garage door, I left this. Now, I already have a watering can, but I needed a second one because I've been utilizing my old watering can. It is so busted. It is broken literally right here. The threading, the whole threading piece has come off right here at the neck of the watering can. And I have used my Gorilla Glue. If you all have been watching my channel for quite a while, you know that I've Gorilla Glued it. And I've used some other type of epoxy type of like putty type of glue. And I just finally said to myself, get a new one, girl. This was $2 and I think 50 cents at Wally. So if you need a watering can, check out Wally because they had them on sale about a week ago. Now, let's go over to where I have my greenhouse and let's take a look at what I have over there. Okay, lots of people driving by, I do apologize. I am in the garage. I'm in the midst of preparing for my fall garden. So don't pay no mind to my gardening mess back there. This is my gardening bench, shelving unit, and it holds all my gardening stuff. So don't pay no mind about that. Now, what I have done is because I am trying to increase my growing space. I think I might be crazy, but I'm trying to do it anyway. And so I picked up more coconut core bricks from Walmart. Their app, I ordered some coconut core bricks. I've been using coconut core for many years now, and I always order them from Walmart. They were not on sale this time, but I didn't want to wait to see if they were going to go on sale. It was probably a dumb idea, but I did it anyway because I'm trying to, like I said, increase my growing space, and I have needed more coconut core in order to be able to do that because I've run out of compost and I needed to buy compost. If you haven't seen that quick clip, I think it was a Car Chronicles, go away. I've been buying compost and I needed more coconut core to extend the compost. Now the other thing that I bought before I get attacked by flies is down here. So let me unclear some stuff. I'll be right back. I have opened up the top of the box, but I have not gotten into this box. This box has been sitting on the floor for the better part of a month, maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I don't know. I haven't gotten into it. I purchased it. I put it in the garage near my gardening stuff, and now we're going to unbox it together. Now this is for my greenhouse. It's been entirely too hot to be bothered with anything outside. I can barely get out there to do what I need to do. So yeah, this had to sit. Now let's see if I can get into this box without too much trouble. Here we go. All right. It's in a bag. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now, I've got some instructions. Take it out the bag. Oh, it's pretty big. I didn't realize it was going to be as big as it is. Let me not drop it on the floor. This is a greenhouse heater. I bought a little heater for my greenhouse to be able to keep it warm when it's cold. And it says it's a minimum maximum. It's also a fan. Has a fan. I don't know what that little sign is. That don't look like heat, but it has on, off, and let's see, the cord. It doesn't have a timer on the cord. It's just a regular plug cord, but I do have a timer. I have an outdoor timer, but I bought a greenhouse heater. I'll put that right there for a second. And it says here, it is a portable workspace forced air heater. And I bought this, of course, where we get everything online, the big A store. The A store that has everything, greenhouse heater. And I want to say, everybody, besides one more project that I've been meaning to do, I purchased some more tubing. If you have watched my videos on me putting in drip irrigation, I have drip irrigation in my cut flower garden on that side of the house. I have drip irrigation on the front of the house in that flower garden there. I also have drip irrigation 2 zones in my back food forest garden. And I bought some soaker hose tubing. And I'm going to be placing this soaker hose tubing on my drip line along the side of my home in order to make sure that my home foundation is not going to be shifting because of all of the excessive heat that we've been having, because I don't foresee that stopping anytime soon. So I am going to install this on my drip lines and have the soaker hose along the side of my house, on both sides, and probably in the back as well. So I got some tubing, and that's pretty much it. If you all are interested in putting in a drip irrigation, I have a video for that. I will do my best to remember to put an iCard for that. But that's pretty much all I've been doing, you guys, because it's just been so hot. I've purchased a few things. I've been working inside the home. The only time I can get out in the garden is about 7:30. I don't have a lot of light at that time. The light goes away quickly. So I haven't been making a lot of YouTube videos for my garden, but I will be making YouTube videos for the garden really soon. So I want to say thank you for joining me today, looking at all the things that I've been purchasing to help me in the garden and to help me in the kitchen. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.